Hi everyone, so I'm going to do my labour and delivery story for you today. It's going to be quite a long one, so I will get straight into it. So let me start. I was induced because I had a high blood pressure in the cord, so it was like off the scale high. They were worried it's sort of a sign of the placenta being not as efficient and like degrading. So at the time I was only 37 weeks, so it was, I didn't want to carry on, because if it's not good enough, it could, have an effect on the baby. If the baby's not going to get what it needs, I need to be induced, the baby needed to come out. So I was induced at the time, the day that I was induced was the 13th of October 2018, and I was 37 plus 6 at the time of induction. So I went into hospital about 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the Saturday, and I was first put on the monitor because they need to monitor baby before they put the pessary in. So monitor for half an hour-ish, then they put the first pessary in. Pessary is supposed to ripen your cervix. So because I was early and it was my first baby, my cervix was not in the best position. It was not favourable, basically, and it was not ripe. So they put the pessary in, which really hurt. It's a very uncomfortable thing to do because they've got to get right up in there. And then they monitor you afterwards for half an hour. And then the pessary is in for 6 hours. And then after 6 hours, you then get monitored again, put the second pessary in, get monitored again, and then you wait another 6 hours. So in total, it's 12 hours. But because my hospital and labour ward was busy, after my initial 12 hours, which was finished about 5 o'clock in the morning on the Sunday, I then had to wait another 12 hours because they were busy, other women were giving birth. So I was then waiting another 12 hours. Also, the pessaries sort of give you mild period pain. For me anyway, I know they happen in different, they have a different effect on different women, but for me, I just had period pain in the night. So I didn't really sleep, so I had no sleep. Obviously, being in hospital, being on my own. Mark, my husband, couldn't stay with me overnight, so he stayed with me in the day. And then when I had my last pessary, he went home to get some sleep, which was hard because I don't like being on my own. I don't like being in new settings, especially in the hospital. So 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so this is a full 24 hours after being in hospital, I then was taken down to labour ward. So I was like, thank God, because my labour hasn't even begun and I've already been here for a day and I'm tired. I'm like, shit, this is not gonna go well. Also, I didn't know that you couldn't eat when you're induced. So I should have been eating stuff because obviously induction can take a while. So I was like, oh my God, why was I not told that I needed to not eat? Because now I'm gonna be starving. So I literally had a sandwich and a soup really quickly to eat. Because obviously, when you do my hypnobirthing, they're you need to eat because you need to have energy, and I didn't have none of that. Anyway, so got down there, and the first thing they do was check my cervix, and basically they scored it a 3. 3 is the worst you can get, and it was just not ready to have, not ready to even start labour. So it was long, and it was to the back, and they needed to basically pull it forwards, open it up and break my waters before they could put me on the drip. Now, that was the most painfulest thing I have ever probably felt in my life. It was horrendous. I tried it the first time and I was like, I don't think I can do this because it was just so excruciating. I was like, I need something. So they gave me gas and air, and oh my God, because it was just so not ready to be, my waters were not ready to be broken. It was just so painful. But they needed to do it, so I had all my positive mindset. I was like, no, I just need to hang on and let them break my waters, because then this show needs to get on the road, otherwise I don't know what's going to happen. So anyway, they broke my waters and it just went everywhere. And then after that, they hooked me up to the, is it syntocinon drip? so the artificial oxytocin, so I had it in this hand. At the time I thought that hurt putting it in, and I thought it doesn't feel right, but anyway, the drip is like gradually increased over time. So I was just sat there on the bed. Obviously I had monitors because I got a monitor in induction, and I thought, crap, you know, I need to move around and, you know, be free, and I couldn't do that. But to be honest with you, I couldn't do it anyway, because as soon as like the syntocinon started working, I had contractions all the time, and it was like, it went from like 0 to 100 miles per hour so quickly. It was ridiculous. There was no kind of like gradual increase. It was just like flicking a switch, and I was like bang, full on, full contractions every couple of minutes, lasting for a couple of minutes. I was like, oh my God, like this is ridiculous. And it hurt. I'm not gonna lie, it hurt. So I did it for about 3 hours, and I had to stay on the bed because I couldn't have time to move. I didn't have time to move around. I thought I just need to stay on the bed. Like, so I was in the bed, and then about 10 o'clock at night, I thought, I need something. I need the drugs. I never wanted drugs, I just wanted gas and air. Until that point, I was having gas and air, but I was like, I need the drugs. And so they were like, well, would you like paracetamol and codeine? And I was like, what? I was like, I'm not having a period, I'm having a baby. I was like, no, I need something else. So like, well, we can give you diamorphine. So I was like, yes, let's go for diamorphine. So, excuse me, they came with this needle, and I hate needles, and they were like, so it's gonna go in your leg. And I was like, oh, that's fine. Put it in my leg. Holy Jesus fucking Christ. That hurt ridiculous amounts. That made me cry. So breaking my waters made me cry, and the injection of diamorphine made me cry. As in, like, it was that painful. It was honestly like, I was like, I don't think I could do this again. And also, it sort of like took the edge off the contractions, but at the height of them, I could still feel everything. I was like, I'm still not getting a break. And you know, I'd only been in labour for, Christ, like a few hours at this point. I was like, I knew I had such a long way to go. So I was like, so after a bit, I said to my husband, I said, I feel like I can't cope. I'm having a wobble. I started crying. The cannula in my hand was put in wrong, so my tissue was swelling. And obviously when you have a cannula, it's like stuck down to you. So when you start swelling, it's got nowhere to go because it's stuck down with a load of tape. So I was like, I'm in so much pain, my hand hurts, I'm in pain, and like, we need to do something basically. So he was like, right, okay, we're gonna sort everything out. So I said, I need an epidural. Like, the last thing on my mind was having an epidural, but at the time of it, I was like, I don't care what I have, if it's an epidural or a C-section, or just knock me out. And yeah, so what they did was they gave me an epidural. So the anaesthetist came in, but I was like, how am I going to have an epidural? Because my contractions were so close together at this point. I was like, you need to stay so still. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but I thought, right, no, okay. So I bent over the bed, kind of like this, and she put the needle in my back. Obviously they can't feel it because they numb you with that like local anaesthetic, but she did the best job ever. The needle went in the right spot. It numbed all of me, like all the way down, and couldn't feel anything. They moved my drip onto this hand, and after that I went from being in so much pain and like really scared and stressed and anxious and worrying to being fine and comfortable and in no pain and happy. Like, the difference is like black and white. It was ridiculous. So I said to Mark, I was like, I feel so much better. Like, I can do this now. Like, and in my hospital they do like basically a top-up epidural. So after like maybe an hour, when it starts to wear off, they just come round and they top you up, and it feels really nice because obviously it goes into your back, and this cool liquid, because they keep it in the fridge, it goes into your back, and it's like, oh, it's so weird. But anyway, so by about 11 o'clock at night, or midnight-ish, I was really comfortable, and I thought, do you know what, I can go to sleep because I'm not in any pain, and I was just tired. So I literally just slept on and off from midnight till about 7 in the morning, because they just kept, you know, midwives kept on checking me, kept on topping my epidural up, and, you know, they did the blood pressure, kept on monitoring. baby was completely fine, because I know babies can sometimes not deal with induction particularly well, because it's like an artificial labour, but he was dealing with it really well, and that made me very calm. I was very calm, and like I was okay with the situation. So at 7 o'clock the midwives swapped over, and so I woke up and they checked me, and I think, no, it still wasn't 10 centimetres at that point. I think I got to 10 centimetres at about, what time was it? Was it about 9 o'clock in the morning? I think, yeah, I think it was about 9 o'clock in the morning, so well over 12 hours of being on the drip. I was about 10 centimetres, and the midwife said to me, she was like, I can feel the head, but there's a little lip over the baby's head. Can I go in and push it so like the head's sort of there? I said, yeah, go in, because I couldn't feel anything. Obviously that would have been absolutely horrendous if I hadn't had the epidural. But so she got like the lip over his head, and then she said, well, what we'll do now, if it's okay with you, is we'll wait an hour and let your body basically push him a little bit further down. So I was like, I can wait here all day because I am in no pain whatsoever. So she's like, right, well, we'll wait an hour. If I give you a top up now, and obviously the epidural will wear off in an hour, and then maybe you can start about pushing. So obviously at the time, I can't feel anything. So I'm like, I can't even feel where to push. She was like, yeah, well, when it wears off, I can start feeling the contractions a little bit, and start feeling, you know, where to push, like in my bum. So that was the plan. So then I went to sleep for an hour, then I woke up, and she's like, right, let's start pushing. So I think it was probably maybe about 10:30 at this point in the morning on the Monday morning. So I was like, right, okay, let's start pushing him. So I was pushing. I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never had a baby in my life. Am I doing it right? And I had a couple of like different positions and moving, but basically the best position was like, what are they called? When the stirrups, are they? Yeah, when you have your legs up on the stirrups, and basically me grabbing my legs, each leg, I'm pushing for like fucking I just pushed with all my might. It's probably not the right thing to do, but I thought I just need to get this baby out, need to get him out. And I think my pushing took about 20-30 minutes, which was great, because sometimes when you have an induction, you have a higher chance of having like either a C-section or an instrument delivery. And I was like, I do not want that. You know, I've been here for nearly 2 days in hospital. He is coming out, I'm doing it. So I put basically, and also, because I had the epidural, it didn't hurt. Like pushing him out of my fanny didn't hurt in the slightest. Like, and also I had second degree tears as well, but I couldn't feel it. And then he was basically out. So my son, my beautiful baby boy, was born on the 15th of October 2018 at 11:06 in the morning. He weighed £6.8, and we called him Robin John. And yeah, so I will pick him up now and show you him, because he's right down here by me. If you're expecting a newborn baby, he's not newborn. So this is Robin. Hi. So he is now 17 weeks today. He's so much older, so he's nearly 4 months old. And I know it's been a long time since I did a video, but having a baby is like crazy. But yeah, he's massive. He was tiny. So obviously I will put some pictures of him. Who's that? Who's that? And he's bald, well, apart from that bit on the back of his head. So yeah, he was perfect in every way. But then it sort of goes a bit downhill after that, because he had to go to neonatal, and basically the best day of my life turned into the worst day. So I will leave that for another video, because it is quite, well, it's hard for me to talk about, because it's still quite raw, even though it's like 4 months ago. But we basically went through hell, and we've got him now, which is the main thing, but I will talk about that in another video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!